Last round drew blood. Yes, Hickok 45, your internet shooting companion, not Hickok 22, Hickok 45. Coming to you from the hot, humid hills of Tennessee. It's August, mid-August. Should be hot and humid. Yes, the home of Dolly Parton. And home of, you know what it's also the home of? A lot of ticks, a few locusts. You might hear a few. It's not too bad this time of year, but I have actually seen a few. We had that herd of them back a couple of months ago that really was pretty annoying, right, in the videos, but not so bad now. It's kind of a typical August sound here in the green hills of Tennessee. So glad you came to the green hills of Tennessee today with me. Enjoy a couple of fine guns, yak about a couple of dumb things on a Sunday morning or whenever you see it, right? So got my Ruger Mark IV out. And this is kind of that what they call it, the lightweight version, the Lite, yeah, Lite, no, the Mark IV Lite. And it's funny, I bought one years ago, Mark IV. I think is that the only one I've ever owned? It was the Hunter, I think it was called. You're probably familiar with it if you know these Mark IVs. A beautiful stainless steel large version of it, long barrel. Well, what is it, 6-7 inches long, and it's the barrel is kind of grooved and just a gorgeous firearm. But little did I know how difficult they were to take apart and especially put back together. Field strip, and I have a certain amount of patience, but some things I don't. You know, okay, I'm sorry. I know it's a great gun, been around forever, the Mark IV Ruger. Now I understand why people complain about, or did complain about, the difficulty involved in field stripping them and reassembling them. And once I experienced that a time or two, I said, that's enough. That's enough. I don't need this. I traded it off, sold it or something. But when I came out with this Mark IV, well, that was maybe the Mark III, right? Yeah, I don't know my Rugers like I should, but all the Mark IVs, I guess, are the improved, right? That was a Mark III, am I correct? But anyway, this Mark IV, you know, they've got it, you know, down to where all you do is push this button back here, and you lift up and boom, take it. It is so simple. Might be the easiest breakdown on any handgun ever invented. So they went from one of, if not the worst, to possibly the best in terms of breaking down to clean. So anyway, so I decided to go back, and I got to looking around, so maybe I had something a little different this time around, and I saw these lights. In fact, it was a local gun shop. And it was, you know, suppressor ready, and felt like a 1911 for some reason, because I think it is the 1911, you know, 22 Mark IV. And yeah, why not? I need that. Now this is not the long suppressor, the Banish. See, this one is the the Banish 22K V2. Okay, lightweight, small, and everything to just get it down to where it's hearing safe, pretty much, right? And yeah, makes it more fun to shoot, and doesn't make it an extra 8 inches long, you know, in the barrel. So, and really, it's not much different from that Hunter I was talking about. It had a barrel about that long, so you get that with this. Except you've got the suppressor effect on the end there a little bit. Helps with some of that noise. I've got some lighter ammo that's closer to subsonic. I'll shoot it. It doesn't always cycle the action. That's what you run into, right? So, okay, yeah. So that's one thing I was going to shoot, and I will shoot. Oh, before we go too far, too, let me remind you. Forgot to last week. I do have a meet and greet. Yeah, I mean, can you think of anything more pleasurable, amazing than meeting me and getting greeted by me? Yeah, probably not. I'm going to be in Bowling Green, Kentucky, that is, at Mammoth Outdoors on September the 6th. That's just coming up, you know, a couple, 3 weeks. September the 6th at Mammoth Outdoors. So come one, come on. Be there scheduled for like 11 to 12:30, but I'll probably get there early. I'll stay as long as there's people there that want to yak about guns, that kind of thing with me. So, but the official time, if you want to be sure and have the wonderful opportunity of meeting me, 11 to 12:30. So Davidson's will be there, a gallery of guns, and I stopped in that shop. It had been a different shop like years ago, 15, I don't know, 20. And I had stopped in there once, maybe, going through Bowling Green, right off the interstate. And it was kind of a strange, convoluted gun shop. I didn't realize it had been bought and remodeled and done, and now it's a real gun shop. You know, it's a nice shop. I was up there a few days ago. It's a interesting gun shop, good folks. But anyway, yeah. So I'll be there, Davidson's, you know, for a little while, and hope to see you there. Don't forget. And again, don't use these lame excuses like, well, you know, I live in Pittsburgh, or I live in Las Vegas or Miami. Don't act like that's too far to drive for something so special, right? So anyway, I see maybe some of you there. What else? Anything? Yeah, I'm a little early this week. Got a lot going on this week. Get to see my grandson again, some different things, and going to be in the shop all day with my car, getting the grill replaced. It was peeling off. Yeah, nothing like a new car. It's still under warranty, and the grill is peeling, right? But anyway, some things like that going on, and some other visits. But yeah, I'm a little bit early. Again, the world ends. I don't know about it. So I got this thing out here. Can I shoot it again? I got some single shot ammo. I think it'll be single shot because it's what, CCI Quiet 22, yeah, which is quieter even with a short suppressor, but I don't think it will cycle the action unless I help it, right? Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's pretty quiet, but you got to help it out, right, Clyde? He's popping again. All right. I don't know where I'd have to hold to get one of these on the gongs. They're going slower. Oh, right there, top of the gong. Let's pop a 2-liter with one of these. That orange one there. Woo! 22 often puts on a show, doesn't it, on 2 liters? I guess I can shoot that bowling pin with it. Almost didn't knock it over. That massive power. I'll put one on the tree there. Yeah, didn't expect it to knock that around. Woo! Yeah, if you're trying to be quiet, as long as you don't mind working the bolt there. Okay, it's good that's available. That's a physics issue, right? It's more so with some firearms than others. Now I was thinking I had some ammo that was pretty quiet that did cycle this. I don't remember what brand or power factor or whatever it was, weight. This 9mm is the same way. I've had difficulty with most firearms. Well, now you can get ammo, obviously, with a suppressor that will cycle the action, and a Glock or anything. Glocks are a little bit notorious for that, being more problematic, in my experience. Yeah, you can get ammo that'll cycle it. It's just it just needs to be more powerful. You're not really taking full advantage of the suppressor. You're getting some reduction, noise from it. Obviously, that's what most suppressor shooting involved, you know, reducing the noise, right? However much, you know, to either almost hearing safe or to hearing safe or to really pretty quiet, you know, just depends on the ammo. But to get something to work that bolt in whatever the gun it is, sometimes it just won't work the bolt if it's semi-automatic, if it's, you know, really quiet, you know. But anyway, so, you know, speaking of all the people that help us, Silencer Central, fine Banish lineup, appreciate their help. The Davidson's Gallery of Guns I just mentioned, see them on or September 6th, but get a guaranteed lifetime replacement on firearms you purchase there, so check them out. And SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute, longtime supporter of the channel, appreciate their help. Lots of good distance learning courses you can take there, check it out. And you want me to shoot this again? I have something a little bit bigger bore today too. Yeah, I do. I do. And you know what I might do? Can you see it? You might not be. Oh, you probably saw it there. I'll put a couple of these little bullets in it, okay? See if you can tell what it is. What does that sound like? Does that sound like another 22 of some sort? Yeah. Okay, let's see if these are smaller. You want to? See if these are smaller than a 22. Don't think so. I decided I hadn't fired the old Beretta 1301 enough, and especially not lately. So we have some slugs in it. Let's just hammer something like the gong. Try to. Okay. Did I touch it? There we go. It was holding too high. All right, hold on the bottom. Let's try Clyde over there. It's hitting pretty hard. Now this will take a bowling pin down. Oh, I just barely grazed it, I guess. So yeah, my 1301, I still like it. I got a funky hat on. I don't know, it's just weird. I don't know, it's a cheaper hat or something. Yeah, man, I like this thing still. Pretty nice. Oh boy. So yeah, appreciate everybody helps us out. Appreciate you supporting them. And you know, Alabama holster, great little Kydex concealment holsters. Alabama holster in Alabama. At least they come out of Alabama. Doesn't matter where you are, you're allowed to buy those whether you live in Arkansas or California. Well, I guess California, right? They haven't banned Kydex out there yet, have they? Interesting idea. What if there's a firearm that is not allowed in California? Do they allow you to buy a holster for a banned firearm out there? Yeah, probably some of them are thinking, I shouldn't remind them, they're probably thinking, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. You might be afraid to buy one, a holster for a firearm that you're not supposed to have out there. They might come knocking on your door, right? So, speaking of that, what about SIG? What's going on? You know, it looks like this airman issue is something different, which has been kind of suspected for a little while, I think. So we'll see. You know, again, you know, one of the things, there's just been a lot of what would you say, bad news come out. More things have been revealed in the last few weeks, and I guess years if you really follow it, that are not good, you know. Regardless of what's happened in the last you know, few weeks. Wow, just so many people have dug around and gotten into the nitty-gritty of the Army trials, you know, the military trials for the firearms, and what took place there. Now the documents have been revealed, and reliability tests that were postponed or suspended when they weren't supposed to be, because maybe the 320 was having issues and all this, and no record of how the Glock was doing, and the assumption it was probably doing really well, you know, and all this. And it's just a lot of shady stuff, it looks like, you know, involved. So yeah, I don't know. I'm afraid the reputation doesn't hinge on the findings of this airman incident. It kind of hinges on everything that's come out, the verdict. So we'll see. And then of course there's other drama. I've been seeing videos pop up on the fact that this new gun from Glock, or optics ready, what's it called, the COA, C-O-A or something. I wasn't even aware of it because I'm not an optics guy, so it doesn't appeal to me. So it's not even on my radar. But apparently it's supposed to be a big improvement and all that kind of thing, in agreement with some kind of working with Aimpoint. Aimpoint, I know, is a great company too, where they make great products. But that they have suspended sales to citizens on those, totally, to fill military contracts. So of course there's a lot of conjecture about that. Well, what military? What's going on there? Yeah. So who knows what's going on? But we'll find out in time. But anyway, there's been a lot of damage done there on that firearm, and even the company, just with what's come out. You know, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to pile on anymore. I still kind of feel the same way. I don't need to rely on one. I hope they find out that in every case there's an explanation, and it does get to the design of the gun, but maybe in every situation, maybe they'll find out, even from those videos where it was in the holster and went off on its own, it seemed. Maybe they'll find out some mitigating circumstance there, or something that was, I don't know, interfering with the mechanism. I don't know. That's all well and good, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see where that goes. I'm good with all the other choices either way. So anyway, yeah, it's wild. So what should I shoot? How about this thing again? It's interesting how a company, they really put their minds to it, how they can improve something, you know. And I don't know how long Ruger worked on this, but it really was nice for them to. And what is it here? Just need to be on safe. Oh, that's it. Got to be on safe. You just push the button, and that hinges right up, and you pull the bolt right out. I mean, it's just unbelievably simple. Yeah. You just can't believe it, right? And pop it back together. You would not believe, if you're not familiar with these, what it took to disassemble and reassemble one of these earlier models. I guess, again, the Mark III, I guess. The Mark IV was naming this model that has the button takedown, okay? All right. It's not just another version of Mark IV, I don't think. So I'm not crazy about the I don't know, the polymer grip and all that, but it's a 22. It's a 22. It's a little wild maybe for me, that all the lightning cuts and everything, and the gold barrel, gold trigger. But I don't know. I went to a local shop and they had a couple of these in there. And I don't know, for some reason, it doesn't appear at first glance like something I would buy, old guy like me. But I don't know, it is light, and they have such a great reputation, so I bought it. Yeah, there you go. And I just might shoot it again. Let's shoot some regular ammo, some Winchester Super X, I think. All right. Who needs a bullet? Am I recording? Oh, yeah. Unfortunately for you, right? Cowboy, you need a bullet. Let's take the safety back off. Yeah. And the old pig there could use a round. And Let's throw another one to gong. Where was I holding when I hit? Yeah, got him. I could hear it. I could hear it. Well, that's an advantage, not having my ears stuck in. I can tell when I hit something or not, even with a little bitty bullet. Yeah. So that's just pretty neat. Pretty neat. I still compare these though with what's this hole, 10? I think I still compare it with my 617 and any number of the 22 revolvers that are out there. Now you can't put a suppressor on those. And if you got magazines loaded, you can load them faster. Like, so what? It's not a combat gun. But you know, you can put in 10 and shoot with the revolver or this. So it's not like one has some gigantic advantage. You get right down to it. Yeah, and they're both fun. The revolver's probably a little more reliable. I think you saw I had a hang up, and that was with the hot stuff. I think the Winchester Super X didn't feed or something. That's kind of what you get with a 22 semi-automatic, and a lot of, or every now and then, right? That's just what happens. And here's my baby though. Oh boy. Yeah, 1301. That will get the job done. If you have one of these, tell me about your experience with it. If you had any malfunctions. The 1301 Tactical. It's got it right on the side. Made in Italy. Okay. Yep. Really handy. Although, you know, I've had my Benelli M4 out lately, so I'm trying out the Banish 12 suppressor on it and just shooting it in general. And I've kind of reacquainted myself with it, and I still like that shotgun a lot. I really do. And I've done a comparison, didn't I? That I would kind of last what, semi-auto shotgun or whatever that I would give up, and I think I landed on this one. But I tell you, on another day, who knows? Maybe I need to redo that in a year, just to see if I end up with the same choice. I'll continue shooting both of them and see if my tastes, preferences change at all. But they're nice. The biggest leap for me was moving from my very favorite shotgun, favorite quote unquote, but being a semi-auto instead of you know, pump shotgun, because I've always been a pump guy. I still love them. But I don't know, I think it's kind of what Glock did for semi-automatic handguns. A lot of people didn't want to mess with a semi-automatic handgun back in the 70s or 80s. They knew a good old revolver. Revolvers ruled, right? Since 150 years, they ruled already. And yeah, I've seen too many malfunctions with these 1911s or whatever. Maybe even a high power, not so much maybe, but and so a lot of people were reluctant to move, including myself, to rely on a semi-auto. Police agencies or just anybody. But that darn Glock 17 came along, and ugly as sin. But, you know, I think I've told that story. A guy I knew, he was kind of a friend. I'd bought a couple guns from him. He had an FFL. And this was like the mid-80s, 86, 7, I don't know. And I had never held a Glock or anything. He brought over a Glock 17 here. We shot it in my range. And he loved it. He went through a lot of rounds. I shot. He made me shoot the thing a lot. He wanted to share his joy of the Glock, you know, and I shot it enough where I got used to it. And, yeah, okay, that thing does just crank right on, and you could hit well with it and everything. And brought it over another time, you know, and shot the heck out of it. And I was convinced. I bought one, just wanted to have one, and shot it and began shooting Glocks, you know. And when I got into USPSA, I was shooting 1911s mostly, but then I'd shoot the Glock 17 some. I had a 17L for a while. And, you know, they just were so reliable. They just didn't malfunction. And so, you know, a lot of people, I think, turned the corner. If you got a semi-automatic handgun, especially one that has that kind of capacity, and it just seems as reliable as your old revolvers you've been relying on. It makes a difference, because then you're looking at what other advantages does it maybe have, because it's got to be reliable first. Well, that's kind of the way I was with shotguns, I guess. I didn't fully trust semi-automatic shotguns. I'd fired some. I've had malfunctions, some we've tested, and just others I've shot. They seem pretty reliable, but you get a hang up occasionally, or a little finicky with certain ammo, and just keep my old pump, But in recent years, with the M4s and this and maybe some others, I began to realize, these things are reliable. They're just reliable, and I'm not 100% reliable with a pump, because I have a tendency sometimes, if I get in a big hurry, you can short shuck one of those things. You really can. It's a human error, but you can surely short shuck one. And so they're not 100% reliable, either. And of course, with these, you can handle them with one hand and everything. Again, if they're just utterly reliable, it kind of eliminates that issue. This one has been so far with any kind of ammo I put in it. So, and I have to say, the M4 as well, after maybe like the first loading or two, literally, maybe it was just the first loading, I was shooting field loads. I think a couple of them, hung up, I thought, okay, there'll be a break-in period. But I mean, it's from there on, maybe been like one or two hang-ups at first magazine or something. And then that was the end of that. It's just cranked ever since. So, yeah, I kind of changed my mind on these things in my old age. Can I shoot it again? Let's put some bird shot in it and shoot some birds out of the sky. No, I wouldn't do that. Not for fun. I have to confess, as a kid, we used to do that with BB guns and things. We were we were just not very kind to the animal kingdom always, right? Not very enlightened, I really no need to be killing animals, that you're not going to eat, just for sport, unless there's some kind of varmint detriment, to your crops or something like the groundhogs and that sort of thing. Something, or a bigger animal's trying to kill you or something. Then you're okay, right? All right, so we got some bird shot in here now. So I gotta be careful. I don't want to shoot any bowling pins. All right. Well, why did I do that? I'll get him. I'll just pop another one in there. That's why I put it in the chamber, so I'd have it topped off. All right. Do I have any targets that need cleaning like that one? Yeah, I knew that didn't work. I didn't have the, let's see. That last one I stuck in there, these shells, and I had a feeling it was going to do something funky. They're the perfect length so that Fiocchi, I don't know whether they're just birdshot, and shells will vary based on the crimp and everything, just ever so slightly in their length. Have you ever noticed that with your shotgun, where it'll like almost hold 4, or just almost hold 7, or whatever, or it comes really close to holding 8, but just not quite. If that's your, anyway, on that last one, I noticed that earlier, it just does, it goes into the magazine, but it didn't really seem to click in there. That's kind of what was happening there. All right, I think we got her in shape here. Round in the magazine and where they need to be. that is something to be aware of. You know, if in your defensive shotgun, like I had to unload this one when I brought it over here with some defensive ammo, number 4 buck, and like when I reload that to put it back in place, if I had that kind of weird, it's not a good warm and fuzzy feeling, because it didn't feel like it went all the way in there, like it didn't come back out in my hand. But okay, looks like it's going to stay. Let me, you know, shoot it and get it going. But yeah, so you want everything to feel right. Those rounds go into that magazine, even if it requires you download it 1 round. You know, if it would like almost hold 7 or almost hold 8, and you're just determined to get that 8th one in there or that 7th one in there, but yet it just doesn't seem to quite make it, you know, smoothly. Probably not a good idea to just let it go unless it's in there right, correct? So learn from my, well, kind of my mistake. I'm on the range, so I wasn't too worried about it. So anyway, I like that shotgun. It's pretty nice, pretty nice. What else do you want to know about? Anything? I don't know anything else. Saw a thing on Bruce Willis this week, Instagram or somewhere. Picture him with either his wife or daughter. I don't know, but just had a caption, said something about Bruce. He was sitting at a table or something. He's kind of out of it, like he seems to be, but said Bruce now does not have any memory of being a famous movie star. You know, yeah. It's just a sad situation, you know, watching somebody you've been seeing on the screen all these years, right? And they just are gradually losing it. Nature is cruel. Nature is cruel. Yeah, to have been such a mega star, and he's not even aware of that, you know, and that's the way it goes. And a lot of you dealt with that. I really have not in any serious way with like dementia or that sort of thing with older people, you know, that kind of lose it and maybe don't recognize. I always think that's just sad. It's bad. It's hard on family, isn't it? Some of you have dealt with that. I mean, think about it. Whether it's your grandfather, your grandmother, your mom, your dad, whoever it is, and they at some point don't really know you. You know, that's tough to deal with. Yeah, but that's life. Part of life. Can get any of us. But anyway, let me shoot this thing again. Let's get some. This is a little quieter. I don't think it's not the CCI quiet. It's just standard velocity stuff. Let's see how it does. I think it won't cycle it either. It does need a round. Wasn't clicked in. It does need a round in the chamber. Oh, okay. It cycles it. All right. It's just not subsonic. Not quite as fast as maybe the Winchester. Let's reach out to that gong. Is that tree falling more? I don't know. I'm gonna have to cut that down. That leaning tree down there, y'all see? Part of it's almost blocking the gong now. Yeah, pretty neat. Pretty neat. Trees like that, you folks that have done a little work with a chainsaw and cutting trees, that's a widow maker. But that type of thing, that tree's not all that big. Plus, it's a poplar, which doesn't mean much to a lot of people. But it's a softer, lighter wood. It's still heavy, really heavy, but in a tree. But when you get one leaning against another one, either after you've cut it partially or whatever the situation is, it's tricky just to cut it down. You got to know what you're doing, or else you end up pinching the saw in it, or you get the thing fall on your head. Take my word for it. Don't mess with a chainsaw and sawing down trees and get into that without some study. Know what you're doing, and with lots of safety precautions, because boy, you can hurt yourself in a hurry. I've come close, and you know, things falling different directions or limbs falling off you didn't expect to break off, and all of that. and they'll fall. If you watch people, there's a lot of videos on that, sawing down a tree. As soon as that thing is ready to go, no matter how masterful a job they've done, sawing it properly and everything and getting it aimed right, they will immediately back away, I think kind of at a 45-degree angle, back away very quickly. Like your saw with you out there, like whatever, 20, 30 feet. They will just do weird things. The thing will bounce, and then the stump of it, rear end will bounce over there on you, and all kinds of crazy things. A lot of people have been hurt and killed that way. So you never know what kind of advice you're going to get from me, do you? What do I want to shoot? I might shoot this one more time before I make y'all get out of here. I don't know. I think I want to shoot the shotgun again first. I'll have to load a magazine to do that. I got some advice for young people. I think I said this a few weeks ago, to try to make yourself do something boring. Kind of got into that, getting away from the screens and all that for some time every day would be great, wouldn't it? Go out for a walk, maybe don't even take your phone or turn it off. And it's tough. It's tough to get ourselves away, whether you're an adult or young people. It's tough to give up the technology, no doubt about it. But we really need to do that every day and experience the real world instead of just the virtual world, and worry about what our buddies or someone's saying or liking or all of that kind of thing. Postings, a million different postings. That's my recommendation. Get the TV off, the computer off, the phone off, and go do something outside. I was the other day, well, it was yesterday actually. I had a lot to do on a computer and was, thinking about watching a movie or something. It was later in the afternoon. I don't know. It's a nice day out here. It's hot like now and humid. But I ought to get out there and shoot my bow. Trying to shoot it like every other day at least. Keep my shoulder in shape. A couple of my friends came out and we did some rounds, shot some 3D targets here the other day. I'm going to keep my shoulder in shape because I enjoy doing that when I'm doing it regularly, especially. You keep your strength or your shoulder in shape, that weird joint and all that. You're not as likely to hurt yourself because it uses muscles or stretches tendons and things that you don't use that often, So anyway, so I just finally made myself, okay, yeah, I get my other shoes on and go back out there, and took my bow and walked around here and shot some 3D targets and spent at least an hour, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was just nice to getting out. And I'm the same way. I always have to see that one's kind of doing the same thing. It didn't quite. It just almost holds whatever that number is, 7, I guess. But that's I highly recommend that. Young people, you have a harder time with it maybe than anybody because you didn't grow up in a non-virtual world like us old guys did. And get out there, do stuff. Develop a hobby you don't even have, maybe, if you need to. Bicycling, hiking, find a park you like and that's safe, and stop there and hike around or whatever. Go to some family member's place or whatever and just hike around. Gather rocks, collect leaves, I don't know. Something out in the real world. I think it's good for our mentality, for our attitude. Okay, now see how it's the same situation here, but I don't have one on the lifter. Now I do, so it'll be fine. Okay, what have I got? Bird shot? Let's just pepper something. What do we want to pepper here? I'm going to clean off that hog some more. How's that? Yeah. And a cloud of dust. Yeah, that is some shotgun, no doubt about it. It's a gun and it slings shot. Yes, very, very well. That's a beauty. That's a beauty. I'll load this one more time, maybe shoot something. Actually, I'm going to put a couple of slugs in this. It bothers me that I missed the gong a couple of times. I think I missed it a couple of times. I want to remedy that, or at least figure it out. I think I was holding too high, and that would have told you. So I'm gonna hold on the bottom of it. Okay. Yeah. Too low, I think. That one got off on me. There's another one. Let me bring it up just a hair. Well, that's bothering me. Where's another slug? I want to know where to hold this thing. Who knows when I'll need to blow something up at long range. I want to know where to hold. Of course, this is a different slug now, but that's all right. All right. Level it up about a third of the way up on the gong. Okay, now you remind me of that next time I bring this out. About a third of the way up on the gong. And I'm good. Yeah, I just like to be ready. You never know when a rhinoceros might wander into the yard or something and charge me, and I have to take it out on the run. So I need to be ready. So, yep. So a little bit of a contrast. Let's, where's the visual here? Where's the visual? Yeah. How's that for a visual in contrast? 12 gauge versus 22. Both are fun. Both are great fun though, right? For different purposes perhaps, but they're both great fun. So I guess I should let y'all go. Appreciate y'all helping. Everybody helps us out. Talon grips, I know a lot of you use those, and Ballistol, Gun Fun Targets, you know, just all the folks that help us out. We have more support than we probably deserve, but we are really glad to have it and happy to work with so many great companies and have so many great viewers out there watching. And I meet a lot of you as I move around, and just always great folks wherever I am, and hope to see some of you in Kentucky on September the 6th. Yeah, Saturday, 12:30 there at Mammoth Outdoors. You may not know it, but that area around Bowling Green, there are a lot of I guess businesses, probably. I'm really not, others come to mind, but it's not necessarily called Mammoth Outdoors because it's the biggest gun shop on the planet. Why? Why is it called Mammoth Outdoors? There at Bowling Green, exit 22. Some of you know, yep, I heard you, yep. It's because that's where Mammoth Cave is in that area. Mammoth Cave, ever heard of it? Yeah, so that's a great location. I stop right there quite often. Now that I know that's a good gun shop, I didn't realize it had changed hands and all that years ago, actually. But I stopped there. There's a Culver's right across the road from it, there at exit 22. It's off I-65. And I stop there pretty regularly, you know, back and forth up into Kentucky whenever I'm headed that way. So I'm quite aware of that. Plus, that's that exit where there's everything. You know, there's Longhorn and Outback, any restaurant you can imagine. That's the part of Bowling Green where you got like most towns of any size, you got Restaurant Row. You know, there's a mall there, I think, and just every restaurant you can imagine at that exit. It's the main one. And then you're going up to, well, I don't know what the exit 25 or something is, where the Corvette Museum is, which I would like to go through sometime. I just haven't gotten around to it. I've heard it's really, really interesting. I'd like to go through that sometime. I have no plans to buy a Corvette at my height, but it'd be interesting just to see. I'm sure they've got a lot of history there and all that sort of thing. They make them right there, right across the road, I think. Yeah, Bowling Green, Kentucky, making Corvettes. I don't know about Kentucky. Wow, they're becoming the center of the universe. You heard that, was it just last week that Apple announced they're going to put, what was that, $600 billion into Kentucky to make iPhones? Or at least the cases or something for the iPhone? Wow. Isn't that a bit of a oxymoron? Making smartphones in Kentucky? Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Anyway, sorry, Kentuckians. I gotta be careful. I'll be up there. You know where I'm gonna be. Yeah, on the 6th. So I better be nice. Quit insulting you folks in Kentucky, because I want you to come out and see me. Anyway, I'll see you later, and glad you were here today. Again, check yourself for ticks. I'll do the same, and keep yourself disease-free from Lyme's disease, or Lyme. It's Lyme, right? No S on it. Lyme, no? Lyme disease? I think it's Lyme disease, right? Yeah. As long as you get the ticks off within the first day or two, I think you're okay. Yeah. And that's usually not a problem, because if you're not familiar with ticks, they make you itch wherever they bite you, wherever they bite into you. You'll just notice, I don't know, maybe an hour or two, but you got an itch there, and it just feels a little different than other itches. And sure enough, oh, yep, there he is. You have to pull him off and eat him if you want to, but just get him off there, okay? So I'll see y'all later. Appreciate your support, and you better be here next Sunday. Life is good.